super excited about showing you some of these features. And we're going to do all of this stuff without writing code. So let us dive into this. I have created a couple of these slides in super large font just so that we can have this as a reference here. Okay, so firstly, the Mammoth platform, it's a cloud-based product. And the benefits of the cloud are twofold. One, it's a scalable solution, so whether it's 10,000 rows or 100 million rows, it scales. It's dependent on the processing of your laptop. And then secondly, it's a single source of truth. So whether it's, so you don't have the problem of multiple files sitting in different places. So what I can do as a starting point is bring data from various places. So what I'm going to do is just cover some high-level concepts, and we'll do a couple of interesting exercises here. So I'm just going to show you what this ability to add data looks like. So here I can drag and drop Excel files, CSV files. Webhooks is a way of bringing event-based data into the platform. We can connect to a couple of hundred different types of these connectors. It's point and click, code free, and we can get into this if we have time or if any specific questions around this. But I just want to get into the meat of what happens when data comes into the Mammoth platform. So let me get into one of these folders here. Okay, so just as a quick recap on these things here, what we're going to do, integrating multiple sources, discovering, transforming AI, automation, all that stuff we'll cover, not in any specific order, just we'll just do an ad hoc approach towards this. So I'm going to start off with this one data set. And so this is sort of a starting point. This data happens to be sort of coming from a building management system. So what I can start doing right away is looking at what it's all about. So I'm just clicking on a couple of these things here and these columns, and I can see sort of the landscape of what this data is all about. I can see that there are 10,000 rows in July. Jan's pretty low, so let's look at that. So I'm just going to start double clicking and filtering into this. So I can see the data actually started on the 13th of Jan. So essentially, what we're doing is a bit of investigation. Instead of writing SQL, I'm just doing a point and click approach towards the same thing. So I'm just going to click on a couple of more items here. And everything to the right and to the bottom is relative to that. And so I can keep drilling in, right? So, and we internally have a team of engineers who know Python, SQL really well, but this is the preferred way of when you want to actually investigate your data, right? And this is important because, and it's not a replacement for your Power BI or Tableau. It is an important method to investigate and figure out what may be right or wrong with your data, which then helps you prepare your data. So here I can see that there are different spellings of ad hoc, electricity and things like that. And even here, there are different sort of spellings for contractors, and there's some of the same people. So this is your classic garbage in, garbage out problem. And we have the likes of Starbucks who faces this, small businesses face this, and this affects data quality. So what we can do in Mammoth is start transforming this data right away. So for example, if we want to try and clean this up, if I click on this transform button, there are a whole bunch of different code-free functions to manage this or to transform or reshape. And this is like a 15-minute learning curve. And what I will do in this specific example is let's use this AI-powered function here called bulk replace. And so if I select this amenity column, it's showing me a list of all the items that I can group together. So let's maybe, we can group these into one and then start creating these different groups. But it's actually suggesting these 4 groupings here. So let me just go ahead and add all of these in. So here I can see different items, and then I can also add some more. So maybe we add this all this to a new group, right? So I can modify this to whatever I want. Maybe we call this just water all floors, and then apply that one. And then I'm just going to hit next and hit apply. And so what you'll notice is in these 21 unique values here that will change. So now you have 14 values, and on the left-hand side, what you have is a step in the pipeline. So any new data coming in, it just goes through the flow, so you don't have to do it again. So just as a recap, what we did was we discovered that there was a problem. We have a solution to that problem, and that solution is now part of an automated pipeline. I mean, and we did this in a couple of minutes, right, or less. So what I'm going to show you now is just maybe a more built-out example of what this looks like. So here you have a bunch of different transformations that were applied, and ultimately what you can do is either send this out into different destinations or have various destinations pull from Mammoth. In this example, we've auto-created this Postgres connection. So if I show the credentials here, there are so different systems can just pull from here. So the various ways to sort of send your data out. And ultimately, you can think of Mammoth as a sort of a lightweight transformation layer that sits between your one source or multiple sources and sends it to whichever destination you need it to be.